guys, how's it going? I want to go ahead and ask your forgiveness now. I'm not feeling too hot today, so probably not going to be my normal upbeat self, right? It's the corona. I got the corona. I don't know. Just not feeling too hot. But anyway, oh yeah, please do the like, share, subscribe thing. It means a lot to us. Appreciate it. I guess the likes help with the YouTube algorithm, and as far as the comments, that helps me and it helps you guys. I love to read y'all's comments, and as you watch the videos, make sure you read the comments down below. Let's get all that info out there, that way everybody can have a discussion respectfully, and we can learn from one another, right? Alright, into today's video. Yeah, I know, bad habit. It's stemming from a comment from one of our viewers across the pond over in England. Didn't realize we had viewers in England. To all you over there, I know y'all don't do good day. That's that's Australia. Top of the morning. I don't know. Maybe that's Irish, right? Welcome though. I appreciate it. But he had commented, or they had commented, and made a video about affordable defensive weapons. Okay, and forgive me, I don't know a lot about the gun laws in England, but I guess he was saying that they have to have a permit, and even if their permit is accepted or something like that, at best they could get a long shotgun. And he wanted to know, or they wanted to know, any tips for those people that it's difficult to get firearms. Well, number one, if you live in a country where you have to have a permit to get that firearm, go ahead and fill out the permit. Just go ahead and do it. Yeah, I know that the government will know you have a gun, okay? That's one of the things here in the States that we hold dear, is it's none of the government's business what we have, how many we have, and all that other good stuff. And that's one thing we fight against all the time. The government doesn't need to know that I got 2 shotguns and a few 22s. What difference does it make? There's no reason for them to know that. But yeah, get that permit, because I'm sorry, if you are defending yourselves, and I believe his scenario where people haven't eaten for a few days and they're going house to house looking for food. If you're sitting there and all you got is a knife, man, excuse me, all you have is a knife, yeah, they're probably going to have knives too, or baseball bats or something. But if they came across a house where somebody had filled out the permit and they have a shotgun, you're not going to win against that. So yeah, I would say fill out that permit, go ahead and get it going, however long it takes, get it started right now today, so that you can get that. Okay, that being said, let's say something happens and you haven't got the permit done, you haven't been approved, you haven't purchased the firearm, blah 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 blah. The question I have for you guys over there, are you able to purchase ammo? Or is ammo restricted too? Do you have to have a permit to buy ammo? I don't know that. I believe he asked my opinion on like using an axe. I don't like, and this is my personal opinion, I don't like the two-handed melee weapons, okay? They take too long to swing, and plus I like having my hands. When I was a police officer, I had my duty weapon, I had my cuffs, And for a while, I did carry a baton, the expandable, they're called an asp. You flip it and it extends out. But quickly, I kind of got away from that. Now, I am a bigger guy, okay, 6'4", I'm a big boy, big strong guy, right? I'm a former lineman playing American football. I like being able to use my hands. If I can get a hold of somebody, I feel a lot better about being able to control that person. So as far as the big two-handed melee, not a fan. Okay, will they do damage? Yes, they will do damage. But if you're talking about just you defending your home and your family, and there's 3 or 4 of the other guys, you're going to have the intimidation factor of that big weapon. But other than that, if they decide to rush you, I don't see a whole lot of chance there. It's going to be tough. Me personally, I like the single-handed quick weapons. And even beyond that, what I recommend even more is self-defense classes. And I don't mean, reading a book and saying, okay, I got to get them a karate chop right there and they'll go down. No, I don't mean that. I mean taking classes and sticking to it for a while. Not, okay, I've been in it 6 weeks, they've taught me how to block, they've taught me how to strike. Your body needs to develop that muscle memory. So you need to do it for a while. And yeah, you need to get the practice of, if there's little tournaments or anything like that. The tournaments help because it pits you against another person where you don't know what's going to happen. Self-defense classes are like, all right guys, today we're going to block against the overhand, blah blah blah, and that's what you're going to be blocking for the whole time. And yeah, you're going to get pretty good at it when you know what's coming. In the little tournaments, you don't know how that guy's going to strike, you don't know what he's going to do. But I recommend that for everybody. I don't care if you've got an arsenal that would make some small countries drool, okay? I don't care. Knowing how to defend yourself in hand-to-hand combat is extremely important. You never know when you're going to be in that situation in everyday life. You know what I mean? You don't know. You need to know how to defend against a knife attack when you have nothing. You need to know these things. Yeah, off on a little tangent. It applied though, right? But back to the weapons. Off topic, but ask you guys ever see them potato guns? Them things are pretty cool. They shoot taters like hundreds of feet, and they're just good family fun, right? Just a question. It popped in my head all of a sudden. I've never made one. I've always kind of wanted to toy with it, but never made one. Anyway, as far as the weapons, baton, broomstick works really well. Old wooden broom handle. They are quick to operate, and in the self-defense class, they're going to teach you where to strike. As a police officer in the academy, they taught us where not to strike. We were not allowed to hit joints. We were not allowed to hit the clavicle, the head, the neck. Why? Because that does a lot of damage. And being a law enforcement officer, if we have our baton and we get into it with somebody and we take out somebody's collarbone, then we get sued. But learn those points. Learn the pressure points, okay? Side of your neck here. Is that the brachial? I can't remember the nerve, forgive me. But yeah, one of the instructors, he decided to test on me because I was the biggest, most strongest, baddest guy there, right? And he just gave me a little bump. And it buckled my knees a touch. I didn't go down. He was just showing the class that even on a big guy like myself, you can neutralize that threat. And it did. I saw stars for a second, knees kind of buckled, but I didn't go down or anything. One of the things that they taught us is by putting constant pressure on that nerve, you can pretty much knock somebody out. You're not cutting off blood flow, you're not cutting off oxygen flow, but on that nerve right there, you put pressure on that nerve and people will go down. But that nerve is good. Outside of the thigh, inside of the thigh, right here on your forearm will neutralize the hand if you strike it good enough. I will go this way today. There's always so many different ways I can go home. But learning those points, and then if you've got that broom handle, you strike somebody on those points, you're going to get their attention real quick. In addition to the broom handle, taking an old garden hose and packing it with sand, oh yeah, that does quite a good job. Duct tape off the ends, make sure they're nice and secure, and fill that sucker full of sand. You will get somebody's attention. You whap them with that. Sorry. As far as the cutting weapons, yeah, we all carry knives, and knives will do damage. Knives also have that intimidation factor. Okay. As far as knives, now I have never been in a knife fight. Okay, so I'm not going to say this, that, or the other. Do not go for my opinion, do not go for the big, heavy bladed, the old Crocodile Dundee knife, the Bowie knife. My personal opinion, I like the little thin bladed machetes. You're able to operate them quickly. They have some reach on them. And you talk about intimidation factor. Yeah, if somebody's got a knife and you pull out a machete, yeah, that's going to get their attention real quick. Sorry, just checking something here. I want to make sure nobody smacks me. But the machete, and I like the machete a lot, just in my woodland survival gear, whatever you want to call it. I've had very, very good luck with a machete over a hatchet. Okay, they're lighter than a hatchet. The cutting area is larger, and a lot of times with the machetes you can get a saw back. A lot of my videos I have mentioned that I'm not a fan of hatchets, the tomahawks, the whacking weapons, right? Or the whacking tools. Now I own both. I love my tomahawk and my hatchet. They do great for processing kindling and stuff like that. But every time you swing it, it's making a whack. Whereas with a saw, it is making some noise, but not like a hatchet, machete, or a tomahawk does. To the tomahawk, yeah, they make a decent weapon, but it takes a little bit longer to operate, but they are lighter than a hatchet. But still at that, it takes a little bit of time to swing it. I pray none of you ever have to use anything to defend yourselves. I honestly, truly do. But yeah, think about stuff like that. Those light, quick weapons. We were also trained on the side handle baton. You guys have seen them. Has the baton and the handles right here. Those things in the hands of somebody who knows how to use them can be pretty devastating. I remember in the academy, and we practiced on each other. But even at that, they had the bags, and I'm not wanting to jack this guy up. and I'm doing it. I'm hitting him. I'm hitting the bag. And I remember the instructor came over, and he was kind of like, BS, I know you can do better than that, put your weight into it. And you know, the guy, it wasn't hurting him, but yeah, since I had to step it up a little bit, he definitely had to be planted a little bit better and focus on that. So there's just a few ideas for that. The biggest thing is, like I said, those self-defense classes, because you not only learn how to block, you learn how to strike, you learn those pressure points, you learn the weak points, all the joints, you take out a knee, and yeah, somebody's going to be, it's going to be a lot harder for them to keep on going, right? But to go along with that, as far as the defense of your location, your home, your shelter, you want to, excuse me guys, I'm sorry, take the time to work on that. Okay, that way somebody just can't walk through the front door and all of a sudden you're face to face with a threat. And I think I'm going to make a separate video on that sometime, and show you guys some different things you can do to your home. I guess, yeah, as far as today, the original question of what do you do, like I said, me personally, I'm not a big fan of the big, heavy, two-handed weapons. They do a great job. Yeah, I'm sorry, they do a lot of damage if you land them. But you got to think, you know, even if you're talking about a baseball bat, you start stepping on the guy, you're starting to swing, it's like all that is telegraphed. Now you got reach with them, but still, if you got somebody who's had any type of training on how to avoid those type of things, he can block it. All he has to do is either step back to get out of your reach or come into you. Okay, and all of a sudden that big heavy melee weapon is pretty much useless. You know, if you can imagine that baseball bat or that axe and you rear back and you start to come down, but that guy comes into you and grabs you, yeah, your hands are out here tied up and he's right on top of you. There's not much you can do. Whereas if you've got those little single hand weapons, okay, in your dominant hand, whatever your dominant hand is, excuse me, this hand here is to keep them back. Okay, they start to come in, you can block and you can strike with your other. Okay, that's why not a big fan of the big heavy two-handed weapons. And plus, take an axe, take a baseball bat and swing it for 30 seconds. Okay, you are going to be exhausted. You're going to be whooped. Those little weapons, you can just pop, and it doesn't require as much energy, and you can get quite a few strikes. You got a baton, you got the old broom handle, you take out somebody's knee, he drops, he's done. You've got another target. Okay, you aim for clavicle, the neck, the head, and you can just keep working your way down the line like that. But the big heavy, you know, you're swinging on the first guy where the other two guys are flanking you. But anyway, that's just my opinion, guys. Please comment down below. Let's help out our buddies in those countries who it's a lot more difficult for them to get defensive weapons, and give them some ideas there. So thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it. Talk to you after a while.